Hello, Loeuwis. You have my deepest sympathies because I cannot stand the heat. I hate heat so much. I would honestly welcome another ice age. I don't think that's too strong to say. Hallie, in a recent, or possibly the most recent video of that channel, what is it called? I'm gonna think of it. Real Human Bees. She recently made a video about politics, kinda. And I really don't want to talk about politics. I really don't want to talk about politics, but I'm gonna talk briefly about politics. Something that she talked about quite a bit was the idea of like how vilified the other side always is, which I completely agree with and I think is awful, and I think it's made easier by the fact that the other side tends to seem really illogical. And it's kind of the fault of how the system works, which is that there's really only two parties. There's not a lot of opportunity to have like niches. If you're a member of one of the two parties, that party has a position on everything. And there's a strong position on everything is the thing. And whatever the position is of one party, the other party has the exact opposite position. And so it's very easy to like take one party and vilify them because of these positions. The criticism I hear a lot of like the Republican Party is that, you know, they're all about small government. The criticism that's levied is that like they are very much against the government controlling what you can and can't do, and yet they want a lot of control with regard to like women's issues. And people point that out as being a contradiction of the party, and I mean, and it is. The thing is that like those two beliefs, the belief in small government and certain beliefs on women's issues, and like namely abortion, those don't necessarily both hold equal weight in every single member of the Republican Party. And it's very easy to, you know, have one member of the Republican Party who only cares about limiting the size of government and probably doesn't even care about abortion and who gets an abortion or whatever. But then there are going to be other people who are very fervently against abortion and don't really care about what that does to the size of government. But you have all these people who are basically shackled to each other because there is just this one party that they can look to, and it doesn't really represent them. And that's kind of where we find ourselves. You know, a lot of people who are smarter than me and who have discussed this topic far more eloquently than I ever could argued so well against first past the post voting. And it's just first past the post is so god awful that it's kind of put us in this situation where like you have to pick one of the two big sides, and you're really just voting against the people who are least representative of your ideas. But it's hard to square all those beliefs at once when you're trying to conceive of what I guess I'll call the opposition. So what do? Well, I have no idea, but I just want it to change because I think it really doesn't help to have 50% of the country absolutely furious at the other 50% of the country. Loeuwis, I'll see you tomorrow.